Hello, sports fans. Oh, that's right. We're Trains fans here. We are live on the Mateo community server today. Talking to somebody about an hour ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to run the yards," but I've run yards, which I love, the last, I don't know, 8 or 9 streams. So I figured, let's do something interesting again. We haven't done a run down the pass, the Cajon pass, in a while. So that's what we're going to do today. We're at the Martinez sub. There is another one of these. If you're a member of the Mateo Community Run 8 server, there is one sitting in the inspection yard in Barstow. It's about a 2-hour trip to get to where I'm at now, and that's generally how long the stream lasts. So I positioned this one here. It's not like San Bernardino or GM yard in San Bernardino can't use more, Autoracks. By the time this one gets there, there's already one there that is ready to leave. I don't know if we'll have time to work that. Probably not, because we're about in a good almost 2 hours from San Bernardino from right here. And this is Cajon Pass. If we were driving it, it's 35 minutes, but the train's a lot longer. What we have here is the we're running, the lead is BNSF 8094. It's a ES 4400. Trailing with 2 MUs are CSX. Because, they would have brought these from Memphis. That's where these came from, Memphis. And they build them in Tennessee. So we'll take care of these, get these down the hill, hopefully safely. We could derail, we could crash. Never know. Let's take a look at the back, make sure that the DPU is responding. It hasn't yet. I did turn on the lights back here. There we go. Turn them off from the front. So it's being followed by NSF 7250 on the rear, just one in the back. Okay, so it's radio controlled, so it takes a while for it to respond. I will be describing how the brakes work again as we go downhill. But the compressors here are going to send out air down the line. Let's see what so right now this is, I'll be using this a lot too. If you hit Shift Z, Control Z. Let's go with Shift Z, the first thing I said on the keyboard. I use Raildriver. Most of you know that. But if you look here, there's these circles are the indication of our locomotives here on the front end. And the one circle in the back is the rear end. This top bar here, this top line, is all the cars. It's kind of hard not to get that in there, though. Top line is all the cars, but it's the coupler pressure. If they start going red, then they can brake because there's too much pressure on them. If they start going towards the color of black, then that means there's too much pressure coming back towards the front end, which are these 3 engines here, and then they could separate as well. So we don't want to bust no knuckles or couplers. The couplers are called knuckles. And we'll be watching that. The bottom one is our brake pressure. I think I have it right. It's one or the other. Yeah, the bottom is brake pressure. I just applied a little train brake. You see I put a couple pounds on here. And the more air I put on, you'll see it's going through the train now. I put air on and I release it, so you can see like this car here, these cars in here still have a little bit of pressure on them, but not much. And the purple here on the locomotive side, on the circles, because I have the the independent or the locomotive brakes enabled. Of course, the DPU in the very rear is going to respond after a few seconds to what we do in the front end here. Looks like these may be stuck, but we're going to end up applying air anyways. There's probably a little bit of air. It's somewhere back here. That's 90 pounds. 90 pounds could be further back. You see over here, it says there's 90 pounds on the brake pipe. So something got stuck right there. It's not releasing correctly. It's always good to do a brake test first. See where we're at here. That's 90. Just looking, we have a few cars that have a little pressure in them. Could be a valve. got stuck a little bit. So, yeah, see, these are 90, so I don't know. These are all saying that they're released with 90 pounds on the brake pipe. I don't know. I don't think it'll be a problem. All right. So, if you join me for the first time, we're going to be headed down the Cajon Pass. So if we take a look at that, we're here at Martinez. We're going to request from dispatch here in a second. And we're going to go down whatever dispatch sends us down one of these two. I suspect it's going to be this one here because the other one we have a train coming up on. This one over here is UP, or Union Pacifics. We're running BNSF, so we should stay on the BNSF side. We're going to be going down the Cajon Pass over here. You can see the train there stopped. Or it's not stopped. It's coming up. It's intermodal. There is a Autorack in front of us a little ways. He came down this side, so probably it's the more steeper side, but we're not that heavy. We're within the requirements to go down the pass. I'll show you the map in a second. Get back in my train. We'll get in the cab here. We're running the DPU screen since we have one in the rear. We're not going to fence it, meaning we're not going to independently control the rear. I don't see any reason for that. I have a handbrake only on the lead locomotive right now. So go ahead and take that off. Let's go ahead and contact dispatch. We look at our dispatch screen. This isn't the one that oh yeah, 3213. So we're going to call them right now. We're here at Martinez. We want to go down, so hopefully we can get in here behind this other one. See what he says. What I say, 3213? Call him up on the radio. Going to go channel 32. Then we'll tone 13 here in a second. I did star 13. I think it's pound 13. No, it's star 13. All right, and I've already set where I want to go. I said I want to go to this block right here because I want to be able to pull in the auto yard. So he just gave me a signal, so signal indication. I'm going to go ahead and go bright lights on the front of the train. So we have our ditch lights on, everything. We are in bright. Go ahead and go in gear here. And then let's give it some throttle. Let's start powering up. And now that we are got some power going, we'll come off the independent brake here. Coming back on throttle a little bit to so I don't pull the train apart right now. Got the bell going because we do have a crossing up here. See the DPU on the back starting to push a little bit. It's getting a little light green there. Maybe hard to say. We're pulling here, so that's why this is yellow. And again, that valve did not release all the air. It's got kind of stuck a little bit here. We look at our screen, our dispatch screen. So we're coming off Martinez at CP Summit. We're crossing over to this track's main 2. That's the steeper one, but we got to be in control of our brakes. This guy coming here from the UP side is going to be coming here to Summit, and he'll be stopping at a signal. So they're crossing right here. I'm in notch 1. So we're going to be crossing over right up here. And then I'm going to need to watch my speeds. If we look at the So I have both my signals set, my aspect sheet, so I can see what the signal rules are and what they look like. And then here's the speed restrictions right here for coming down the pass. We're going to be on main 2. So we're at 15 miles an hour since we're over 4,500 tons. I think I already covered that, but just in case, 7,300 feet, 6,700 tons, but we're over that 45. So we're limited to 15 miles an hour since we are within this restriction. But we're coming out of here. We're going right down on main 2. We're till milepost 63.2, which is going to be around Cajon, where the summit really gets steep. I'm going to go into idle here. Watch our speed. We should start slowing down here a little bit, but we're limited to 15 miles an hour, so I'll be applying air brakes here pretty soon, train brakes. Half the train is still coming up though. If we go to the rear of the train, see it's still, that one's still kind of pushing up a bit. Gotta pay attention because this is where things get hairy. Trying to get, well, I can't do anything about that. I don't think I need to stop. I just need to, and watch what's going on. Oh, I did a distance counter. I don't know what for. For 10 miles an hour on the dot, the grade is minus 3% down, or 0.3%, I mean. It will get up to 3.3 negative. Or 3.4 is the maximum grade that we're going to hit going down. Starting right here at Summit, so it's going to drop off here in a minute. But if I take too much off the power, then it's going to get crazy on me. So here I'm going to put 10 pounds of air on. And that's going to try to slow me down right now. So I'm going to speed up. You can hear the wheels creaking. I might have done that a little too fast. Okay, let's drop the brakes. Yeah, I think I did it too soon. Hey, what's up? That's a long name. Been a while. You didn't have that name before, I don't think. Welcome back, though. So I have, you can see, for whatever reason, when I did apply air there and release the air, it did clear that section. We're at 5 miles an hour now. Again, this shouldn't be too hard as long as you're nice and methodical, slow, you don't overreact. We've done this quite a few times. We've done it with other multiplayer people in here, which that has a way different effect. It doesn't, you know, there's a syncing issue that causes problems. We did with Mr. White before, and we had some, and also Dakota, and we had some problems just over the multiplayer syncing aspect of it. Just kind of gets screwy sometimes. So we've done it by ourselves quite a few times. Generally not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to be babying the throttle here. You can see where it starts dropping. So as soon as I start, things start to go, I'm going to apply, I think, 15 pounds of air. Should be all that I need with dynamics. We're going to use the locomotives, the engine and the locomotives to try to slow us down as well, but we can't do that alone. Yeah, 6,700 tons isn't that bad. HPT is 2.7, so we do have braking. Get a little more speed going here, but it's gonna run off on me. What's going on, Eric? This should be the last week, by the way, that for a while, for the next few weeks, that I come on this early. I usually, so right now in the West Coast, it's 11 in the mornings, what time we went live. And we are going to, we came on early because we got to watch Dallas at 1. Got to make sure we get the stream in. Next few weeks, we have the next 3 weeks, Dallas is on Monday night, and then there's, I think next week or week after, they have a bye week. So next 3 weeks we'll be on at our normal time of 3 p.m. on the West Coast. That 3 plus 3 is 6 p.m. on the East Coast. See the grades starting to increase here. We're at 1.5 now. I'm in idle, and I'm watching our speed here. Half the train again is on either coming up or on the level. This is going to start going quick. Hawaiian Dwight, what up, man? I made it. Burn man, how are you doing? Hola. All right, so I'm applying dynamics now. And again, if I start going a little fast, no big deal. I'm going to apply a little bit of dynamic braking right now with no air. And let's see what happens. As more train starts coming downhill here, we're going to have to manage that a little bit better. Again, I'm watching the coupler pressure and the brake pressure up here at the very top to make sure I don't have any problems. Not 10, I'm limited to 15 miles an hour going down the pass with this amount of tonnage. It's so far so bueno. Again, I'm just watching the speed limit right here. If we look down, this is the DPU control. We have a locomotive on the rear if you're just joining us. I'm at 11 now. I currently have no air on the cars. And we put a little bit more dynamics on here. So I'm going to apply it here to the front 3 locomotives, DPU air, because we got the hills in the way of the radio signal. But the rear one has not answered back yet. Now it has, and now we'll watch up here. You can see the cars are a little green, starting to turn a little green here. Remember, black is bad and red is bad. I'm up to 13 miles an hour. We're starting to come down the hill here. Yeah, UP not Autorack, the intermodal going up the hill. Mr. White, what up? We were just talking about you. Remember, you were jumped on the train eating burritos one time, and that multiplayer sync thing caused a little bit of problem. She goes, we're at the maximum speed limit now. I'm going to put more dynamics on. Nice and easy. Starting to speed up here. I'm going to apply 10 pounds of air. Yeah, it's lunch today. Burritos for lunch, huh? I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm going to go up to 15 pounds of air. I have dynamics on. Right here where it says ER, I'm sorry, the brake pipe's at 75 pounds per square inch right now. Now we're starting to slow down. I can come off the dynamics a little bit. See the red line up here because I actually am now using air within the train. Come off the dynamics a little bit more. We don't want to do too much movement back and forth while everything's getting set up. We might stall here though. I'm completely off on dynamics right now. And all the cars are bouncing around back there. Go look at the rear. Coming to a full stop, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it some gas here. I don't want to take brakes off because then we can have further problems. So we'll pull with the brakes on, and then we'll I didn't bleed the engine brakes either, so. That's not going to work. We're not going nowhere. All right, so that's fine. Reset. I'm going to release the brakes and get ready to put some dynamics on here first. That's weird. All I did was I didn't do anything else other than take it. I don't know what's going on here. So all I did was go into dynamic setup and we started rolling. From nothing to dynamic setup. So let me go into dynamics. Not sure why we stopped. My mouse. All right, so I'm gonna go into some dynamics here. All right, I'm going to release the brakes. And we should start rolling. I'm waiting for the brakes to come off a little bit here. I'm bailing off the brakes on the locomotive right now. Full dynamics. That's full dynamics right there. No brakes, full dynamics. You can see how much pressure we have on the rear. So I'm going to actually apply 10 pounds again. Go up to 80. 15 was too much. And then I'm going to start coming off the dynamics. I'm off more off the dynamics and let the train settle here. That way we don't have too much pressure in the brake bar. We're starting to speed up. That's all of our train back there, by the way. Right now we're at, let's see, our percentage, we're at negative 3.2% grade. Pretty steep. You're just pulling a trailer down the freeway up here, you'd feel that. All right, a little more dynamics as we're getting close to 10. Take a look at our load here. I'm happy with the speed right there, 10.5. We're kind of distributed here. We are going to start speeding up here in a second because more trains coming onto the grade. We're at 11.8 miles per hour in a 15-mile-an-hour zone. Making our way down. There's a lot of tonnage up against the locomotives right now. See up here by the darker green color. Again, it's not black, so that's okay. We are speeding up, so let's put another couple pounds on. So 78. Keep everything under control here. Throttling the dynamics just slightly. Try to keep it right around that 14, 15 miles an hour. Intermediate indicates high ball. That means that signal right there is green. This is where it really starts dropping off too. Well, I guess it can't get any more, to be honest. I'm looking at it now. We're 2.7, right where the locomotive is. It's going to go even steeper. But I remember it right around, you know, going through here, it's going to get even steeper. I wanted to set the weather as it is now. It's actually clearing up a little bit, but it was like really foggy here just in the last half an hour, or last hour now. But you can't set the weather because we're on a
milepost 5.8.6.
we're on a multiplay server.
Main 2.
That's our detector there. All right, I'm gonna come off on the dynamics just slightly, a little bit. Ease a little bit back. You don't want to lose too much speed, and you also don't want to gain too much speed. And again, as more of the cars start going downhill, it's going to want to push us downhill a lot faster. So that's not me bleeding, that's just the brakes bleeding themselves. loading here. I put myself on the ground. There it goes. Watch it from here. I'll watch up here the speed and control it from here. Do like a rail fanning person, their camera. You hear the wheels squeaking because there's brakes on right now. I'm gonna come off on the dynamics a little bit more. They get back to that 14 mile per hour range to start putting more back on, but for now, well, I'm at 14. I'll put a little bit on here. See if it settles down. Somewhere in here is like the sweet spot between increasing speed and decreasing speed. Trying to find that perfect amount of dynamic brake. Right now I'm at 77, the setting, but it's going to change too because the tracks aren't the same level going down. They rise and fall just slightly. There's 73 on dynamic brakes, which is an arbitrary setting. But we're under control. We're headed down the pass. No issues so far. Watch the detector. Dragging equipment. Stop your train. Listen, it's easier to stop going downhill and then start again than it is going uphill for dragging hose or something, but still no fun. These guys are loaded too. They got cars in them. There's another train there in the distance that you can see. Got some pigs on it. Piggybacks. For those that don't know, there's two types of container trains. You have piggybacks, which are where they put the truck trailer on the flat cars. And you got the intermodal chip containers that don't have the wheels and stuff. They go to yards and take them off and then put them on like little trailers. And this train so far, if everything I've seen, they're all piggybacks. Over here, there's a couple intermodal cars on it. What kind of burrito are you having, Mr. White? Exotic, carne asada, bean and cheese, breakfast, carne, some sort of meat. Too much. Go to 75. 7 layer. Has yakimoles on it, alright? Yakimoles. Little smushed avocado and sour cream. Got all the stuff. We did, and I'll be having tonight. Of course, everything, just about everything we eat is homemade. We pride ourselves in making food and eating wholesome. But we did enchiladas the other day, and I went to have one last night. I wasn't that hungry, so I still got it left over for today. Beans mess you up, huh? Beans bring in the thunder and lightning. Thunder's okay, but when you got lightning, you know what I mean? You gotta be close. Get close to some wet rags. So we have about 37 more miles of this. Actually, just kidding. We're at milepost. We've already passed Silverwood, which was 56.3. Looking at the map, trying to figure out what we got here. So we've already passed the Silverwood cutoff. The detector, we passed that. We've already passed the tunnel, so we're somewhere around here. Helper tracks will be coming up. So we're somewhere near, so we'll say we're 60, just say we're 64. Make sure I'm paying attention. Say we're about 64, and we're going up to 6, just past 6. So, you know, that's 64. Actually, let's not do it that way, because then the numbers are all wrong. 64 to 80, so we've got 20 miles, roughly 18 to 20 miles to go. We'll put ourselves about right here, because our restriction again, on main 2, the 56.3 to 63. So 63 is 56. So from the turnout from here to 63. Oh, Cajon. Yeah. That's at the bottom of the hill. And we still got about another, we're going underneath the 215 right now. Probably another mile. Cajon will be coming up. Here's an intermediate signal coming up. We got a high ball on that guy, so I'm gonna bring down the dynamics slightly. Yeah, we're gonna go around the corner here. Like, there's actually literally a gas station right there. This is the Silverwood cutoff that goes to Lake Silverwood. But as we go down and around, we'll pass the helper tracks, and then we'll have the control point of CP Cajon. Not Cajones, just Cajon. Now, for those of you who don't like road trains, I'm not a big fan of them. This is more of a challenge than just driving from point A to point B, obviously, because they're going down the Cone Pass. But go look at my other live stuff in this channel, the former live stuff. The last, I don't know, 17 weeks or whatever, and of course I'm exaggerating by about 2 weeks. The last, you know, several months, we've done yard work where we've gone in and kicked cars around in the yards, meaning that we slam on the brakes and watch the cars go where they needed to. So that's all going to be here in the channel. And there's a lot of others. There's some other simulators. I kind of saved these Sundays. Simulator Sunday has been rain stuff. I didn't notice I was getting too fast here. Let me put some dynamics on. Now in an overspeed situation. See, who knows? See, purple. I got to chat too much, so then we got a little fast. We'll bring her down though. It's like you can't even talk to nobody because you get crazy with your speed here. We're bringing her down. You see she's coming down in speed now. She's at 19. If I go up and look at, there's quite a bit of pressure on the back bar, but okay, we're gonna let off the dynamics here in a second. Take some of that pressure off. Start talking about other simulators. I got some simulators like Seafarer, which is it's more of a game. I just released another one yesterday. It came out this morning at 10, but I recorded it yesterday, and it's for a game. It's decent. There's a new to us. It's going to be in early access as well. It's called Nautica XP. I have the demo for it now. That's going to be more of like tugboat simulator and stuff. Chipping tugboats. We're going to be doing some of that. Don't know if it's going to be on Simulator Sunday, but it'll definitely be on the YouTube channel. And on Wednesday, I've been doing my switched over to doing Max Payne. So those come out on Fridays. And Arco and I are doing co-op on Killing Nazis. So we're doing Sniper Elite Resistance. I think I've been doing the Sniper Elite series since number 3 with Arco. So, all right, we're down on our speed here. So let me come off dynamics a little bit and see if we can keep it around 15. There's the control point coming up where the lights are, the signals. We got high ball. Cleared is the signal. The reason it called high balls in the old days, before we had the electronic signals or the lit light bulb signals, we used to have a ball, and the ball all the way up, the clear signal, and all the way down was the stop. A lot of times railroaders will still use high ball. Mr. White is can attest to that. And blowing down too much. This might be too much off the dynamics, but we can come back on it. Here we go. Back up to 10. Now I'll be riding air brakes. I'll be riding air all the way down, by the way. Because as we head into San Bernardino, it's just as steep. It's not this steep, but it's still, you know, it's pretty steep. If we look here also, you see this aspect we have a green over red. And if we look at green over red, right here it says clear. Now if it was opposite, if it was red over green, we would look at down around and it's like, okay, where's red over green? That means that it's diverging clear, meaning we would go on to main 1 instead of staying on main 2. So if it's opposite, this signal sheet will tell you what that means. It's available on the depotserver.com under downloads. And then the maps are as well. Everything, Run 8, you can find on the depotserver.com for reference. I'm running it right at 16 miles an hour right now. Start to get too slow, so let's come off dynamics a little bit. Gotta keep it around, around 15. We're at 15, 15.2 and 15.9 is still 15. That's too much, too fast. The pressure on the knuckles there isn't too bad. It's only 60,000 pounds. So now that we're past, you see the track speed's still 20. That's the track speed. However, based on our weight, actually 15 for us. But we could go up to, after 56.3, after 63.2. Then we can go to 35, I think it is. We just passed Cajon, PP Cajon. So we should be getting ready to hit we're already past 35 mile an hour limits. This still says track speed 20. Probably because where the rear of the train is. It's not as steep. Now I come off the dynamics. I'm still, like I said, I still have air on. But we'll just use less dynamics here. That's no dynamics, so we do start speeding up. Add a little dynamics here, and if we can handle it with the dynamics, we can remove the air. Trying to get a good view over here. Start to speed up now, taking more dynamics off. Next control point is going to be down and around the corner. It's like a right and then a left. Got to go over signal, not a signal, a crossing, automobile crossing.
DNFF detector milepost 66.5. Main 1 temperature 77 degrees.
Oh, main 1. That's not us. That's a train coming at us. Six 6.5. Yeah, he's coming up. And then that's an oiler right there. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Unless the brakes are on, it'll still get grease. The beauty of having real railroad engineers and conductors in here is they tell you what all these like little things are over time. The more you do it, like, oh yeah, that's where you get oil. Pick up oil for your wheels. Oh, it's Autorack head the other way. So it's Aubrey Iglesias. Audrey, something like that. They're on the slow ride up. We're on the slow ride down. Crossing coming up. I just saw the whistle board, so put our bell on. We're under 30 miles an hour, under 40 miles an hour. Go on this side. End of the train's coming up. Falling through the ground. You can hear his brakes pulling brakes, or is that might be me. Sound like I got brakes stuck somewhere. Another car going by. Goes 72, 72. She's pushing. Imagine being stuck at this crossing. Be angry. Oh, if you got to go to work, you should know. Trains. This is the BNSF main line going up Cajon and coming down. Going to be busy. Actually, I think you can go 20 now. See what our train track speed is 35. Why are we doing 15? Dynamic brakes are now off. You know, starting to stretch now. Put a little dynamics on, that's what you heard. You're sitting here at this signal, or at this crossing, like, yes, it's starting to speed up, yay. Kind of like being in Beaumont Hill waiting for trains to pass. I hate when you get two of them because they're both ways are going to be long. Still gotta put graffiti on my cars. Been saying that for like 3 years now. I mean, I do have cars that have graffiti on it, just not good because it was a test. All right, here comes the end of it. And I got the dynamics on, so this one's actually kind of putting resistance on as well, so that it's pulling the rear of the train back just a little bit. Just trying to slow it down. All right, let's see what signals I missed. The previous was a clear. Negative 2.2% grade. See how we're being routed here. Looks like we're on track. We're on main 3 through baseline. This is us right here coming up on Keenbrook. Then we have a approach here. Or approach medium, and then probably have an approach on the intermediate. Right now we have a stop at Cajon, but this is a lot of mileage, so it makes sense why we got 3 signals. So we've been going for 1 hour, and we're still a good 45 minutes away from pulling in San Bernardino to the auto yard. Especially at these speeds. .35 track speed. I'm going to drop the air. Let's see what happens. going to be a little too early, but be fine. How much you can control with dynamic brakes. Right now I'm full dynamic brakes. I'm gonna have to put some air on. Just put 80 on. Bring her down here a little bit. $38, Fulan. That was more or less a test, by the way. I just want to see if I can run with dynamics coming on that part of the hill. I've never done that before. Apparently you have to release your brakes anyways in order to change, to lessen how much brakes on. But with 80 pounds, this is a 10-pound reduction there. That means the brakes are barely, they're just on the wheels. You can't blow your train, you know, coming down this area with that much brakes on. It's just barely enough. And full dynamics. With the weight that I have. That's why I pulled it off so soon. I wouldn't have really done it till we get closer to baseline. Down Piedmont. There's like a grain elevator. That's probably where I would have done it normally, unless I was going to pull into a siding. There's a siding there that we can recrew at. I want to see if it would, if I had to use brakes or air, and I do. That 35.8 is still 35. Now we're at control point Kenbrook. Mile marker 70.9, so we got just over 10 more miles to go. Got a crossing coming up at Devore Road, so right after this bridge up here, there'll be a crossing. Union Pacific from West Colton will come up this line that's kind of in the distance here to the right. They do have track rights here on the BNSF. The BNSF has track rights over there as well. But this simulator is was set up for the late 90s, early 2000s. So if you were to go to San Bernardino now, you would notice that there's flyover bridges and stuff in the yard that UP takes, BNSF takes, kind of go over the West Coast. That is like a lot of how they go that way these days. As well as the way to Beaumont, which I can't remember that sub. It's on the map though. Yuma sub. The Yuma sub in Run 8 does not go through. Quite a few holes. All right, let me know if the stream gets choppy. Somebody's watching something right now on my server, and if it's too choppy, I'll kill it. .6, a little more dynamics to start slowing it down. Activate the bell. That grain elevator up there is the one I was talking about. Clear signal here. Because it goes into the San Bernardino subs from there. Let's see, 35 is our track speed still, next signal 1.7. Everything looks good with 10 pounds of air on. The grade is still, we're still going downhill, 2.2%. .35. Speed limit signs. I got a clear signal coming up. And the CP Vertimont mile marker is 74.3, 75.3. Mm-hmm. It was good timing on my part. The 35, the next speed limit restriction I have is 30 miles an hour going into San Bernardino. Vertimont is 75.3 is the mile marker. Baseline is 81, so that's 6 miles. My train's only about a mile and maybe a quarter, 7,300 feet. And then as we get into San Bernardino, we're going to have to switch off of the main line into the GM auto facility itself. There are already cars there, so we'll have to break ours apart and deal with all that, which is fine. So we're going to do a little switching, not just road trains today. We're going to disassemble this in the yards, and I don't think there'll be enough time to put one together and send it out. See, the signal up here still is clear. Look at our dispatch screen. We do have a stop at CP San Bernardino right here because there's an oncoming train from LAC to Atlanta, and there's a manifest. So he's climbing the hill right now. Not a lot of HPT, 3.4 for manifest. But he's switching over at San Bernardino, so he's going to be passing us on our right side as we get into San Bernardino. Maintaining a steady 80 pounds throughout the train right now, so that's 10 pounds of air on. DPU here, so the lead engine I'm in right now, we're in dynamic braking 6. It's basically the notch. And then you see the DPU here is answering the same through a remote control radio signal. And then the load on the amperage that they're putting down on the tracks, about the same. So the engine in the rear is working just as hard as we are up here. Brake pipe is 80 throughout. Brake cylinder, it's the independent brake for the locomotives. There's that 0, nothing. The master reservoir. That's how much. So the engines always have more air in them, so that when we drop the brakes on the train, they can bring everything up to 90 without dumping all their air. So that's why the locomotives have more air in them than the rest of the train. The train is 90 pounds to release the brakes fully, but the locomotives have 135. So also so they can run their own air without having to lose when they're charging the rest of the train. Bring dynamic brings brakes down a little bit. Going down a little too much. If we were to continue to LA from here, it's about 2.5 more hours to get to where I normally work in the yard. If we just kept going, it would take another 2.5 hours to get to LAJ, for example. Of course, that would be at 55, because once we come down the pass and we get on the main, once we go through San Bernardino, Colton, Riverside, we will be able to hit 55 miles an hour. On the button. Well, we had it. Cars are flexing a little bit, doing a little bit of an accordion expansion, contraction, because when you're not pulling exactly steady, the weight will push them forward and you're pulling and then they go back. They just kind of flex a little bit. These Autoracks, the knuckles have a really high expansion compression rate on them too. That way the cars don't get jostled too much. Watching this right here, this mile per minute change. So I'm at 34.9 on my speed. I'm watching, this is like the accelerometer, and it's indicated here slowing down or speeding up, but it's real time. So when the cars bang against each other, push them towards locomotive, and then get stretched and start pulling away, that's what this indicates, is how stable the loads are, really, but also if I'm speeding up or slowing down overall. If it stays minus for longer, then you're going to be slowing down. just keep coming off on the dynamic braking. Here comes that manifest train. Do a roll by for him. He's gonna do one for us. We're listening for anything dragging, any braking, anything that looks out of the ordinary. And we can call him on the radio. Here's my I don't even know where my headset is. I know the conductor has one over there. It should be right here. Right there, yeah. Like that telephone. We can tell them good roll by. Alright, tail's burning bright, good roll by. I think we'll have a clear up here now since that train's passed. Can't see the signal because the bridge is in the way. Currently in idle. Actually, I'm not in idle. I'm still in dynamic setup, but I'm speeding up with no dynamics on right now. So we have an advanced approach coming up. Or approach medium, they call it here, NSF. That means that I can pass this signal at the speed I'm doing, but the one after it, I need to be at 40 miles an hour when I hit the next one. And then a solid yellow line a solid yellow light would mean that, hey, if you're doing over 30, you slow your butt down. But we are coming into San Bernardino yard right now anyway, so we do have about a mile or so, maybe just more than a mile. We're gonna need to stop so that we can, well, actually we don't need to stop. We're gonna need to go slow. We're gonna be coming off of the main onto the GM yard, so we're nearly there. This is the San Bernardino Intermodal Yard, SBD, San Bernardino. We got a 30 mile an hour speed limit here anyways. I got my dynamic brakes on, slowing down. Go through the Amtrak station here in a second. As we come off the main, we want to make sure that we are about 15 miles an hour. As we're coming off the main onto actually like a spur, but it's not a high-speed switch. Grade's at 0%. I'm going to remove the air that is on the train right now, so all the cars will be releasing that air. You hear the compressors spin up right now. All the cars is reserve. Here's our approach coming up. That solid yellow. We're at 19 miles an hour. activate the bell as we go through the Amtrak station here. San Bernardino. You've been here. What it looks like. There's a flyover that comes off. It's over here now. Goes up and over stuff. I'm gonna run up here because we have switch here that we're going to switch onto. This looks good to me, so we're gonna go right through here. That switch needs to be set. That switch is good right now. We can go up to that signal where we're going to plant the cars. I'm at 11 now. Let me come off dynamics. We're right around the corner here. Don't want to throw that switch until we pass this signal here, otherwise it'll go red on me. Now that I pass the signal, it's going to go red. We're going to go, let's see, everything else looks good here. We're going to go and throw this switch. We're in the block. We own the block. Like air traffic control. Switch is open. We're going to go through here and then right in the outside one. If we look in here, we can see we have the block, but this is pink because that means there's a switch open. We'll release that. We no longer need dispatch to know that that's where we wanted to go. Come out of dynamic braking right now. Cars behind us are going to push us. All brakes are off. Everything's charged up. Start to slow down even more. Let me give it a notch. Everything look good. These guys are a little, pressed in, pushed in there. It's not 84 degrees, by the way. It's 69 here in San Bernardino. Go to notch 2. We've already thrown the switch, so we are good to go to pull in. We will set a distance counter. And now we're going to do a little bit of switching. Over here and stand at the switch. Stand at this one actually. Might be too soon because still gotta wait for it to come around the corner. And the end of the train is just right there, coming in around the yard now. Coming around the corner now. I just notched up 1 to notch 3. You hear it spinning up a little bit. Up here, there's a distance counter. We'll start that somewhere over here. And that will indicate where the rear of the train is. I think. Yeah, I want to do it over here. I don't want to do it over there. Because if I park them here, I want the last train to be about right here where my mouse is. Heat advisory coming this week. All right, and I'll do it about right now. 7,300 feet to go. Now we're right in the cab. Have the bell on, but there's no workers here today. Sunday. That's a Mill Street Bridge right there. I'm going to start going downhill too. It's a 1% grade here. Gotta watch my speed. Now we'll just coast a little bit. We got 6,300 feet behind us. And we can go all the way up to the signal that's ahead of us. So I think all of it will fit in here, and then we'll cut it and then shove back to the track next to me and see what we can fit in these 3 tracks. We should be good. And then these locomotives can be attached to the other train that's over here. Not the ones that are sitting there. Those are the locals. These guys here are the service locomotives that pull these cars in and out, move them around. But we have the road power here. The one that I'm in now could be the DPU. The one that goes on the very back of the train. And then the one at the back of the train now, as long as these foreign power here is CSX. So I can connect that one to these 2, and then they can go back. Because, BNSF, we're on BNSF lines here. So BNSF would be in the lead, followed by the CSX. And then this one could go in the very back of the train to help get up the Cajon Pass. So that could take those cars out. and got a train ready to go. Got 4,500 feet left to my marker. There's Metrolink stuff over here now. In 1999, 2000, there was no Metrolink stuff over there. Should hear cars banging around here in a second because I just put dynamics on to slow down. There we go. I don't want to slow down too much though, so 13 miles per hour right now is pretty good. We conquered the mighty Cajon Pass, coming downhill. Only had that one slip up where we put air on the cars too soon and ended up putting us to a stop. But there was something weird there because the locomotive, as soon as I went into dynamic from not zero, basically idle, then the locomotive started rolling, and I was like, I don't know what was going on with that. So that was interesting. I should have been able to pull those cars with brakes on. I'm gonna start slowing down here with dynamics to we don't go too far. 600-700 feet. Oh, 1,600 feet. Line and lock this mainline switch for mainline operations. Now that we're out, stop. Maybe I can. All right, so train's slightly longer than we need to pull in here, so let's take care of this now. But there's a red signal up here, control point. We cannot cross that, so without a permission. So we're going to do this. Give ourselves a restricting. We now have a restricting. We can pull forward. We get 755 feet in here. Check to make sure everything else is good. We're going straight down Main 2. We do have a train coming. We should be out of their way here in a minute. We got 5 to go. Number 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, maybe 6, 7 go. Wrong count. do right there, this guy is going to come off of this anyways. So we are going to handbrake, 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 handbrake. Take our 4x4 or 4-wheeler over here. And this car will be the last one on this track. Go to the go here to the rear, close this, and we're going to remove our EOTD so that when we remove air, we're not going to get a safety valve blow. PCS. We're going to close the air off on the front of the train and disconnect that. We'll open the coupler and we'll pull forward. Set this switch here so when we come back, all right, and then that's all we're gonna need. Let's see. We just need to get past that switch with 1.5 more to go. Okay, coming back. Go ahead and ride her back here. Oh, I can't ride on this one. Yeah, some of these cars don't let you ride on them. And this Canadian National one is one of them. Can't do it on that one either, huh? The Autoracks are not very nice. About this one. Nope, not that one either. One of them you can. None of them. No grab points on the Autoracks, I guess. All right, so now we're going to bring it back. We should be okay to use these 3 tracks. Can't do anything with this locomotive as I don't have command of it anymore since I have this part of the train. The oncoming train should be good to go to continue through the Colton Crossing. Once we get back out behind this red, we won't need it anymore. So if you've been waiting in line here to cross this crossing, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to drop these things off. And we just came from top of the pass, Martinez, in 2 hours. Now you can go about your way. Turn our brights off. We don't need them anymore. All right, let's guide this in to where it needs to go, which should be about parallel to this one. I can't turn it off. I don't own it, so I can't turn it off. Apply a handbrake on this one that's coming back our way. That'll help me slow it down where I need it. I can grab that one. It's weird. I am pushing uphill here too. Since the handbrake went on, it's a little more difficult. Yeah, we want to come, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here is 5. So we'll start slowing down here. Just take off. We're going to neutral, idle. And it'll start slowing itself down as the weight of pushing uphill will start piling up. But it'll go too slow, so I just knocked up to 1. Got to go back to 2. I'm at 4 miles an hour now. Wow, all the way back up to notch 4. With 5 more to go. Where do we want to be? Yeah, about in here. In here is fine. A little bit of delay too when I give power to the engine. Push. Got about 1.5 or so. And we're about that. That'll be right there. So let's cut it. Probably here we'll put a handbrake on. Handbrake. Handbrake there. Multiplayer has to stand on the ground to do this. So let's see. We'll close that. Blow the air off that. Let's pull it forward. You don't need to go very far. We have plenty of room over there. Set this track up, and then I just got to get past this one here, and I hit the brakes just a bit too soon. Pull it forward just a little bit more. All right, that'll work right there. Can I ride this one back? I can. All right, coming back. It took 2 hours to go from Martinez to right here and then break apart the train. So this is a job. There is another one of these in Barstow right now. So from Barstow to Martinez is going to be about 2 hours. So it's a 4-hour trip. You have plenty of time if you choose to do that one before you drive it down. These need to be assembled and sent out. Like I mentioned, there's locomotives here to do that. And then these ones that we just brought will be put in their place Busy day here at GM Yard. Actually, the dealers down here are going to get a lot of cars to sell. Leave plenty of room at that other end. This should. Oh yeah, we got lots of room. So we'll just make sure that we clear these switches. Power here. That's the air still bleeding from those guys. Back it up here past this so we're not fouling the switch. Another car length to go. Let's check the back. We're clear in the back. Plenty of room to get locomotives up here. We're going to set handbrakes on the 3 locomotives with pretty hefty handbrakes. Turn off the CSX. Turn off that. We'll turn off the headlights. Go back and well, let's do a relinquish and get back to the other one so we can turn that off as well. So we're not just sitting there wasting fuel. They do use fuel. Headlight off. Handbrake on, and we'll shut that down. So that's our trip down the Cajon Pass from Martinez. So that is plenty of time to get ready for the game coming up. We should have, we've already reset the switches. Looking, where is this one that's coming this way? Oh, he's coming out of the like for the Colton crossing over here. See where he's at. Hi, ball. See if we can find it. Goes over the 215 right here. We'll watch this one go by. Thank you, everybody, for watching, spending time with me here today. This intermodal goes by. I'll invite you back next week. We'll be back at 3 p.m. Pacific time next week. I don't think there's a game. I didn't see a game. You may always look at YouTube's. If you subscribe, you get notified, but whatever. Be on Twitch on Wednesday night. 5 p.m. on the West Coast, playing some Max Payne. And then look on YouTube for other simulator stuff. So, hope everybody has a great week. See you right back here on Sunday next week. Again, should be at 3 p.m. My plan, anyways. Well, I'm sticking with it. Everybody, take care.